So congratulations on the success of the show.
Thank you.
It must be kind of mind-blowing. I mean, it's a show. It's the biggest rated show. I can't remember exactly what the stats are, but
let's just say it's the best show ever made.
Let's just say that.
Let's go with that.
Let's say that. And you know, how has it changed things for you?
Oh God, it's changed everything. It's the biggest thing that's happened to me in my career for sure. But also, I mean, the thing is. I don't know. I think it's because of the fans that the show even exists. I mean, the whole Coulson Lives campaign was started by the fans and became this really fun underground like stencil that was seen around the world. And then Marvel got wind of it and decided to make a whole TV show around Coulson putting together a ragtag group of people trying to save the world each week. So it's kind of amazing that this show is even exists. It exists because of the fans, and then that's the reason we have season 2 as well.
Right.
Because we have such amazing fans who tune in each week and follow everything and are so eager about the whole thing, and that's why we do what we do.
And how do the fans react to you? Because your character, I mean, everyone knows it's not a spoiler, but things have changed for you. I don't want to give away anything, any major plot points. But did that change fan reaction to you at all?
It did. I get some boos. I get some I trusted you. I feel betrayed. My mother still believes in you. I get the whole gamut. It's kind of all over the place for me. I think for other people it's like, oh my God, I love you on the show, and for me it's kind of like I love hate you on the show. So I get a little of both. It was fun at Comic-Con. There was a lot of boos, but also in a good way. Those are all really good things because people are watching, and I think it's also a character that they love to hate. And so I went out there with a HYDRA t-shirt on, and Clark Gregg and I kind of looked at each other and had a little moment, and so the whole thing, it was fun. We were definitely playing with the good guy bad guy aspect of it.
Well, it certainly means that the fans were invested.
Yes,
right, and that's
exactly.
I mean, as we were talking earlier,
it's not
that's
boo
what keeps
against Brett Dalton.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's boo against the character. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny because Daniel Radcliffe told me one time, he said he gets an enormous amount of attention when he's out in public, and he said the thing that made it bearable for me was that I knew it wasn't me. They love Harry Potter. They don't love me. They love the character. And so I guess maybe that's when you're getting booed, they're not booing you.
Right. Although in the beginning, some of the tweets were like, "I want to punch I am Brett Dalton in the face," and they didn't say Grant Ward. They tagged me, I am Brett Dalton, and would punch me in the face.
Right.
So that I thought maybe they could have just typed in Grant Ward.
Yeah, they could have softened that up a little bit. Yeah,
softened it a bit.
And you knew nothing, right? You knew nothing about the change. I've interviewed a few of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people, and they said that they have. You don't really know 3 episodes down the line what's going to happen. Yeah. As an actor, does that make it easier for you? Is it constantly challenging? What does that present?
Well, I think that you would either need to know everything all at once or on a need-to-know basis.
Right.
I think that anything in between kind of doesn't work, if that makes any sense. The need-to-know basis one is okay because you're just living in the moment and you're playing that moment as truthfully as you can. And as it was with this turn, I think in this case, season 1, I'm glad that they didn't tell me because I really would have tipped my hand. They told me the episode before, and there was a couple of shoot days left. So even in those shoot days, it kind of did me in mentally because I was thinking, am I listening like a spy? Am I giving too much away? All I was doing is listening in the scene. All I had to do was just kind of stand and listen. But, the way in which I was listening, I wasn't sure. So it can be a double-edged sword. I'm glad that we only get one thing in advance because it really does keep us there firmly in the moment. We don't know what's coming down.
Yeah, precisely in that moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the first time that you acted, and from my reading, it has you in high school, I think, doing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and you said, I knew that was it. That was going to be the thing for me.
In a matter of seconds.
And how? Why? And what was it?
I I always liked getting up in front of the class and giving presentations. I did like being the center of attention, but I don't know, the theater for some reason, the theater kids.
Right.
It was always just a group that I just was really like, I didn't want to be involved in, I wanted to be one of the cool kids. I didn't want to be one of the theater kids. And so, I was resistant for a little while. And then when I kind of was thinking about it and really getting interested in it, then the next thing they did was like The Wiz. And I was like, no, I don't want to do The Wiz, man. I don't know. I'll wait until they do something cooler. And then they did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I was like, I'm at least going to audition. And I knew, honestly, in a couple of seconds that, this is what I should have been doing. I mean, I was comfortable in front of people. I could read on the spot pretty well. And just everything, it felt like I was part of this group of misfit toys, because I never really felt like every actor probably feels this way, but I never really feel like they fit in anywhere. I don't know. And so it was just a similar group of misfits and kind of dorky people that I felt completely at home in front of. It was great.
And who did you play?
Hold on. He was a warden. So funny, Ward. I think it was like there was 2 wards in the thing. I can't remember who it was. But I was considered for the lead in my first play, which would have, I don't know if that would have terrified me.
Yeah, or if that would have, pushed you, brought you further in or pushed you all the way out.
Yeah, who knows, I don't know. But it was so much fun, and I enjoyed everything. For a while, for many years, I could still recite all of the lines. It's out. There's been way too many S.H.I.E.L.D. lines that have gone in and out of my head.
That's right. Yeah. That takes up all the available space.
Yes, all of the RAM is completely taken.
Yeah. I have to wonder when you have to memorize for my job. I have to memorize huge amounts of information and assimilate them somehow and get them out on the radio. But I was thinking, there's too bad it's just on a dump button. I don't need that anymore.
Totally.
And just sort of like
I've exercised my short term really well. The long term is just is not quite there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What can we expect for this season? Is there? I mean, you don't know that much further ahead, but where do you see it going? Or if you can, tell me that.
I mean, I can tell you a couple things about it. The world has changed. The world that it's not just a ragtag group of 6 guys flying around and trying to save the world. It's an organization that's in shambles. It's trying to rebuild, and the threat is still out there. So you have a landscape that's completely changed, and you're not sure who to trust and who's the good guy and who's the bad guy anymore. So it's a much more interesting, less clear world, and it would be interesting to see how everybody decides to navigate that. S.H.I.E.L.D. is under new management with Agent Coulson, Director Coulson now at the helm, and everybody has changed. They're not the young, eager, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed people that we started the season with.
Right.
So everybody's on their own journey, and I think that the question of what will they become can be asked of every single one of these characters, and so that's where we're at now. Fitzsimmons, they almost died, almost got drowned, and Skye now, as we've seen in the trailer, has not only a new haircut, but it seems like more determination. And there's Coulson, who obviously is exhibiting some weird stuff with the alien blood in him. And so everybody's on their new path, and May is on her path as well. So all of these things will be developed. Plus, we're introducing a ton of new characters as well. Some from the Marvel canon, but others from others that are like new recruits on the team. So it's good. It's good. I think it has a more global scale as well.
Right. Is Joss Whedon there every day?
I wish. In our hearts.
Yeah.
He's there in our hearts every day. No, but he has also a giant franchise that he's responsible for. So
I've heard something about that.
Yeah. I think something. I think it's a documentary called The Avengers.
The Avengers. That's it. Yeah. But he's still, I mean, is sort of the guiding light of the show. Would that be fair to say, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because of him that the show got made, and obviously also because of the fans. But it's pretty easy to pick up something that Joss Whedon has directed.
Yeah.
If I were a studio exec, that's what I would do. I don't know. I think that we're still kind of. He has a Midas touch, and I think that he wanted to. I don't really know. I don't really know. I would love if he came back and directed something, as we all would, because there's nobody quite like Joss Whedon.
No. He's busy. We'll cut him some slack for this
I know.
For the next 10 years.
He is still in our hearts, though, man. He's such a great guy.
And you mentioned Comic-Con. I've often wondered what it's like to be on the end of that, or the receiving end of that, because the thing that's so amazing about Comic-Con is that there's just this kind of cool feeling that everyone's kind of there in it together, and it's all the people who are sort of like-minded. Everyone's kind of like-minded. Everyone's there to have a good time and have fun. But for the actors, I think it might be kind of intense, right? When you're doing your presentations and things.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're so there with you. You can say anything. I like grapes. But so that comes with it. I don't know. It's a lovely thing, but also it can be an easy thing to be seduced by, and all of a sudden you're just saying things that please the crowd. Right. So I don't know. It's lovely to see all of those people all in the same place, and to really get an impression of like the enthusiasm of your fans, because we make this thing. We work really hard, and we make this. We're shooting 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we're making this thing, and we don't see exactly how it's landing either. Right. I see it along with everybody else, and I'm live tweeting as well as this thing. I see the finished product along with everybody else, but you don't really see how that's hitting an average viewer. Right. You just kind of see how your girlfriend is responding or something next to you, or yourself, how you're responding watching it for the first time. So that's where you get to see this like real visceral reaction to all of the cool stuff that we felt when we first read it. And we would do this if nobody was watching. That's how much we love it. So we're glad that people are watching it.
Absolutely. Yeah. A good reminder though, every now and again, right? Just to when if you have a bad day or whatever, you think, but the fans. The Comic-Con reaction was amazing.
Absolutely, it is something incredibly special.
Yeah. I wanted to also ask you about Footprints in the Snow. Is Footprints in the Snow in a completely created language, like in a language that you completely totally? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a cross between I don't know. It's a cross between like Clockwork Orange and Gypsy and Cockney.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I took a clown commedia class, as we all did at Yale, and it has kind of some commedia characters in there as well. Like the descriptions are like just very like the smart one, the stupid one, the bully. Like all of these things are just they're very simple, but the language itself is really magical and fun and scrappy, and it's completely a world in itself. I hope it gets made.
Yeah.
I really hope it gets made. It's hilarious. Every reading I've ever had, people are like, "Oh my god, this is fantastic." But it's really funny. It's kind of the rules of threes are all in there, and it's I think a pretty hysterical piece, but we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I didn't have any clout before this show. So,
Comic-Con, man. You do like there's.
That's not a bad idea.
You crowdfid Comic-Con.
That's
you can get this made.
I mean, at least it's out there. I mean, you knew about it.
Yeah, no, I've been reading it. It sounded really interesting to me. I just thought I'd ask and see what it was all about.
It's a great one. I don't know how to get it out there.
Right.
I don't know how to get it out there. I could maybe do a reading, put it on. Something. Start from like the crowd up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somehow.
Absolutely.
It's Good idea.
If that happens, I want a little thank you on the,
Yeah, you got
at the end of the credits
Yeah,
or something.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, thanks for asking me.
All right. Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks a
Pleasure
lot.
talking to
Appreciate
you.
it.